How's it going, everybody? I'm Mike, and this is Integrity Wood. So the plan here is to start a firewood business with as little startup cost as possible. I didn't have a splitter, didn't have a wood yard, didn't have a trailer, don't have a pickup truck. I do have a Tahoe, 2010 Tahoe with, girl's got about 385,000 miles on it, so we'll see how that goes. She does pull still. So I have secured a wood yard. It's a friend of mine I've known for over 20 years. He's got some acreage. He has a little farm store that he runs out of the front of the property, and he has given me some space in the back of his property to set up a wood yard. Best part about this deal is I'm paying him in wood. So he heats his home with wood, and so I am going to provide him with wood, and that is how I'm going to pay for the space. So check off the wood yard. We got that covered. Picked up a Husqvarna Q knockoff, saw on Amazon for it was 144 bucks with $80 in shipping. Ended up being somewhere around 244 bucks. Fired it up at the house, got it running. Seems to be all right. We'll find out if this thing explodes on me in the first few cuts. But so there you go. Plan to go over some numbers as things go along. I'll kind of explain what I'm spending money on, how things are going, the direction of the business, how we're going to do things. Big part of the channel is going to be the collecting of firewood. So my goal this year, if I want to sell firewood in the fall, I'm going to need dry firewood. So standing dead wood is kind of the plan this year. I know some folks that have some bigger trees that are standing, ash, things like that. I also know some farmers. So I'm going to explore trying to see if they're interested in me cleaning up tree lines from dead trees, things of that nature. So that'll be part of the adventure. Haven't secured a tree service or anything like that yet. Do have some leads there. So tree service wood might be an option as well. We'll just have to see how it goes. So yeah, really hunting that dead wood to try and get that going for, so I can have something to sell in the fall. Just a hobby business. I do have another business that I own. I work there full time, so it does take up most of my time. But yeah, just wanted to give it a try. We're going to see what happens. We did manage to procure a use of a wood splitter. So the same guy that's loaning me the space on the property has a wood splitter that hasn't ran in a few years. Still in good shape. We bought some parts for it. I'd already been out and looked at it. We did buy some parts for it. So a little bit of today's video is going to be getting that thing up and going, see if we can get that thing fired up and working. And then just doing a general cleanup. There's a lot of work to be done on this space if I'm wanting it to actually be a functioning wood yard. So yeah, come along for the ride. I'll give you a tour of what's going on. All right, so this is my space. So there's a few trees in the way, so I'll need to be cleaning up these trees. This fence can go, which will need it to go. It's just in my way. This was an old chicken coop. No longer using it for really anything, and he was gracious enough to give me this space. All this trash, we're going to get out of here. He has also offered me the use of his trailer, as long as he's not using it. So we're going to pay it forward. We're going to get some of this trash out of here for him. We're going to get some things cleaned up. We're going to make a run to the dump. So here's the front door as it sits. So a pretty good amount of space. I mean, and I'm assuming that if things get pretty crowded back here and things are going well for us, he'll let me expand. He's not really using the back property at all. It's got a lot of these trees back here. I mean, this side is obviously full of trees. We're going to need to get these cut, ripped out, and get this space ready to stack logs in. There's a second little field here. All this fence, these T-posts and everything, this is all going to come out, this chicken wire. Get back here and get this cleaned up. I don't know, this stuff's pretty dry. I thought I might just try my little push mower on it, but I don't know. We'll have to see how we want to tackle this. But I also have this space here. Yeah, so quite a bit of space for what I'm trying to do. Again, you know, we're just getting started. I'm not trying to start out making a living on this, but I do want to grow it. And in order to grow it, you got to start somewhere. And I just really want to do this thing with as little capital as possible. If you're thinking about starting something like this, or you've been thinking about it, this could be a good opportunity for you to see all my trials and tribulations and failures and successes. And there's going to be a lot of everything. Laughs, times of extreme frustration, I'm sure. So there's a secondary fence here, and then there's this fence there. But yeah, so follow us along on our journey. So we're gonna go visit the splitter now. All right, so here it is. It's a Husky 6.5 horsepower, 22-ton log splitter. Got a Briggs & Stratton engine on it. So yeah, all these brackets had broken on the shroud, which caused the oil stick to jiggle, which would cause this thing to leak oil everywhere. I got the air filter off there. I'm gonna potentially spray some starter fluid in there, so try to help this thing fire up. But other than that, it needs a new tire, so I got a tire for it. That's going to be a fun project. We'll see how that goes. But all in all, pretty nice splitter. Definitely would be nice to have a table for this thing. Seems like a future project. Going to be a lot of bending over in the beginning, splitting logs. I'd like to have some kind of a workbench where once I get bigger logs split, I can set them off to the side while I split them down to the size I want to do. So I think a goal today is going to be getting this fence line and all this trash knocked out. Do have access to his trailer. We're going to take it down to the dump, get some of this stuff thrown away. All these old trash cans and just all the clutter that ends up around a abandoned part of a farm. All that fencing and stuff, we'll get all that thrown out of here. We'll make some trips to the dump. That's the dump trailer. Well, it's not a dump trailer. That's the trailer I have access to. It'll be manually loaded and manually undumped. Let's see here. So, she ain't the prettiest thing in the world, but she'll get her done. So, yeah. So that is the goal, is to get some of this stuff cleaned up, start getting it looking respectable. Well, so ends day one of getting the wood yard ready. Give you a little tour of what exactly it is we did today. Got quite a bit done. I was gonna call it a day, and then this was driving me crazy. So I got crazy with the Sawzall, got that down. Ended up being a lot more work than I thought. There was a lot of buried treasures along this fence line. So we got about, I'd say, half of the run of the first fence done. Got a lot left to do. Still have some things to throw away, take to the dump. Got a heck of a pile of brush you need to address and get rid of now. Take that to the dump. I do have access to a chipper. I have to go pick it up. I don't know if I'm going to hold on to this stuff or just take it to the dump and get rid of it. It's pretty wet back here, so I'm feeling like I could use the wood chips to kind of help dry things up and put it on the bottom of that chicken coop, so I'm not stepping in 10-year-old chicken poop all day. But yeah, so still got a heck of a fence line left to do. It won't be boring. At least on the first part it was wet over there, so those T-posts came out. I was able to do that by hand, which is nice. This will be an interesting cluster over here to deal with. Let's see here. So yeah, this goes all the way down. All these little trees that are growing up along this fence line gotta go. But I have all that space there. Back to the coop there. Feeling like for my first year, that's gonna be more than enough space. We'll find out. Here's our first load to the dump. It doesn't look like much, but I spent 2 to 6 o'clock getting all this dug out. This green mesh stuff down here, that stuff right there. They used to have ostriches out here, and they had it all along that fence line, and it had blown down into the ground and it was buried. I'd like to blow my back out getting that stuff out of there. But yeah, quite a load. We're gonna pick up all that on the way out. Get that cleaned up too. Some of these cardboard bins for pumpkins out of his life, and just generally get the place starting cleaned up, you know, making it look better. Well, I think that's going to wrap up today's adventures. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and follow us on this crazy journey as we get this place cleaned up and start harvesting wood, splitting wood, stacking wood, and selling wood. We'll catch you on the next one. And remember, no matter what you do or where you do it, always do it with integrity.